You can't walk away from an offer like that.
I don't believe in anyone but me and what I can do. See ya.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the studio. It is Rich. That is going to be my new intro. I like it a lot. Unfortunately, it just looks a little different because I recorded this video just to be a short. But I figured I would post the whole thing, and it's unedited. So this was like a 20-minute sketch. I think I did it in just under 20 minutes. It's like 18 minutes. And I'm just going to post it. I'm a huge process junkie, and I really like unedited videos and just seeing how people work. And I especially like the sounds of a studio. So if you're like me, then this will hopefully be right up your alley. And all I do is draw comics, manga, anime, and all that stuff. So if that's up your alley, go in and click that like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, all that bullshit to help the algorithm. Greatly appreciate it. So that opening sequence is from Samurai Champloo, one of the best anime ever made. And arguably, I think it's the origin of lo-fi hip-hop. So, super great anime created by Shinichiro Watanabe. Same dude who made Cowboy Bebop. So go check out Samurai Champloo. But that character was Mugen, and he's one of my favorite anime characters. And specifically that line, probably my favorite line from an anime. When I heard it, I resonated so much with it. You know, he's saying, I don't believe in anyone but myself. And that hit hard, and I don't see that anywhere. You know, all their Instagram pages, you know, full of anime quotes and, you know, anime philosophy, and I never see that. And I don't understand why. Because what he's saying is that he doesn't put his faith in other people or rely on other people. And to me, it's almost a stoic approach. Because people are going to do what people do. And the world is going to do what the world does. And fate has in store for you whatever it does. And you can only do what you can do. And you do what you can do. And you don't rely on anyone else to try to change the outcomes of fate or your world. And you don't blame anyone else for what happens in your life. It's this stoic philosophy called amor fati. And amor fati means love your fate. Which, you know, there's this whole wider thing to it, but the simple principle is amor fati, love your fate. Meaning you have one life, and this is it. There's no point in hating it or not liking anything that happens to you. It happened to you, and this is your one shot, you know, to do anything and everything. And you shouldn't do anything other than love it, because this is it. This is the roller coaster. And some things you choose, some things you don't. But you're on it. And you can change some things. So, don't believe in anyone else but yourself. If something's going to change, you have to be the one to do it. And I love that. I love that. When Mugen said that, it hit with me, you know? He's saying no right now to an offer from a big mafia boss or a Yakuza in Japan. And he's like, how can you say no to an offer like that? You can do anything you want. And he's basically saying, no, I don't believe in anyone but me. If he's going to achieve something, it's going to be on his terms, through his own power and his own doing. And he doesn't put any faith or hold any stock in what someone else says. This is something I'm like learning more about myself and trying to perfect this entrepreneurial kind of self-starter mentality. It's not natural to me, and in my adult life, I've been in the military, I've contracted for the government, I've worked for the county, so all these government jobs, they don't really like, you know, outside the box thinking. There's strict, you know, policy and rules for accomplishing everything, There's a chain of command, very specific way to do everything. And you know what, especially in the county, there's no need to actually produce anything. And there's no reward to actually produce anything. The money that they get is from tax dollars, so there's no need to really improve any processes or actually produce anything. The money's always guaranteed. It's not like a company where they have to produce something to generate customers and keep customers to keep getting money. So it's this kind of crazy field if you ever work in there. It's so strange being my own boss now and seeing how this all works. I don't know where exactly I was going with that, but I resonate more with Mugen now, being an entrepreneur with no safety net, no benefits or guaranteed, paycheck every 2 weeks by an employer. It's kind of this crazy world that you live in, knowing you have to generate the income and that there's no paycheck unless you get up and do the work. It's crazy and exciting and freeing. It's so freeing. It's incredible. And I wouldn't trade it to go back working for someone else ever again. And I think it's kind of the curse of the creative type. Working for someone else was so soul-sucking and depressing. It was so strange. I couldn't do it again, and I won't do it again. If for some reason my current business fails, I will just start another business. I don't think I'll ever go back to working for someone else. So I'm currently in the middle of reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and it's kind of hard to read. It's a bit wordy. I have a pretty good interpretation though, so it's not. I breezed through about 30, 35 pages, and over the last couple months, I've been just kind of just barely making along. I'm on page 85. But there's a section in here, and I'm not going to read it verbatim. It's a long, probably 2 paragraphs. But there's a part in here that reminded me of Mugen, where he says, "But to revere and honor your own mind will make you content with yourself and in harmony with society and in agreement with the gods, that is, praising all that they give and have ordered." Now this is, it aligns itself very much with the concept of amor fati, but specifically, hitting on Mugen's point is where he's saying to revere and honor your own mind will make you content with yourself and in harmony with society. And it's part of this larger section about what is proper to value and what is worth valuing. He's talking about, desiring food or drink or fame or reputation or things. And he's like, no, none of these are worth valuing. So then what is left? And the only thing worth left valuing is this, to recognize yourself and be true and honor yourself. And that will put you right with society and put you right with yourself and the gods. And I think this is honestly what we all strive for and what we all aim for. And I think it's why me and my wife have, she really likes Jelly Roll and Post Malone. And me, kind of not so, I don't know. I used to be a correctional officer, so when I see face tattoos, I immediately go, oh, there's an inmate. And I'm not wrong. Jelly Roll used to be an inmate. I don't think Post Malone was, though. But we're talking about, why their work is, so good or why they're well received. It's because they're not like the other canned and, pre-planned corporate pop shit that's out there. They're very authentic and true to themselves, and the music is true to them. And it's that authenticity which we are so deprived of in this society. Everything else is, Taylor Swift and, you know, Cardi B, and it's all superficial and fake. And but these guys seem to be very real and authentic. So I think that's what we all need to strive for, doing something that's authentic and true to ourselves. And maybe that's why artists like Kim Jung-gi and so many others with a rougher ink line are seen as being so good, because their line is authentic. Doesn't have to be precise, but you can sense in their line like a certain honesty and authenticity. And I feel like that's something that I strive for. I try to put too much polish on it, and by trying too hard, I feel like my lines they really waver and suck. Not to say that Kim Jung-gi's line work isn't beautiful and amazing, because it absolutely is. But when compared to someone like Bernie Wrightson, who has the most precise and exact brush strokes, you know, it's a totally different style. His style is almost like wood carving, or that stamping method. It's crazy looking at Bernie Wrightson's work. It looks so inhumanly precise, and it's beautiful. It has its own different, you know, sense of beauty from Kim Jung-gi. But his work, you can feel his work. It's the authenticity that's there, the sincerity, and you can sense it in the line. On top of his obviously amazing perspective that he's doing off the top of his head. I had no idea we were going to go down this path when I started this video talking about, you know, Marcus Aurelius and authenticity of an artist's line and all that crazy stuff. This is the direction I want to take my YouTube channel in, though. Kind of more of a deeper meditations and philosophy and motivation for artists, and especially maybe older artists that aren't quite professionals, kind of like the serious hobbyist, I guess, like myself, that are still passionate and driven and working on our projects. And they may never see the light of day, or maybe we'll only publish one or two that see the light of day. But I love kind of creating this community and this place for fellow like-minded individuals who are trying, you know, constantly trying and pushing ourselves, you know, to hone and develop our craft and the mindset that's involved. I love that stuff, just the mindset and philosophy of art and living and how to be better and more than we are. So if you are a fellow serious hobbyist like me, go and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Check out the community tab. I share a lot of stuff over there. Sometimes it's polls on what the next, you know, on the next week's stream is going to be about. And sometimes I'm sharing my Ko-fi page. Every now and then I post things on there that are not here on the YouTube channel. And yeah, find out more about my manga burst code on Amazon, or you can watch the playlist here. I have an entire playlist working on my manga. So I'm working in pencil and ink on this. I decided to use pencil for shading, just to kind of experiment. I used to do this back in, like, you know, high school and when I was younger, and I saw some sketches on like Pinterest, and I was like, man, I remember when I used to do that. Just kind of like, it was just fun. It was fun, and it was very low pressure, and it is kind of a cool combination when you do it right. So that's kind of what I was aiming for. Just pencil to show, you know, shading and ink lines. I think it was kind of cool. So sometimes you can use blue lead, and blue lead makes, you know, the shadows look, obviously it's going to look even cooler. So by cooler I mean temperature, not coolness. So And this is a totally random anime style girl. I don't know. It was just a random 20-minute sketch. I hope you guys enjoy the process of this. It's something I'd like to do more of, but I don't know, how many people actually want to see this stuff. The raw, unedited kind of thing. One take, and the audio and everything's just in there, So much of what's on YouTube now is highly edited and sometimes sped up and just high editing. And then you can especially see that when it's a digital video of, something happening on a tablet. So it kind of goes to the authenticity and that originality and being true to yourself that we've been talking about. I hope that kind of comes through in this video. I'm just doing whatever comes to me. And it's raw, unfiltered. 'Cause I love seeing that stuff. Super high process and just totally what actually happens, So yeah. Just using the pencil, working on the form and the shadow. Constantly thinking about where the light's coming from. It's coming from the upper left of the character. And I have her shoulder kind of coming up and towards us in front of her. And I'm not sure why. It's just kind of more of a natural, pose. Rarely do we stand, square, front facing, everybody with perfect posture. So just practicing with, more naturalistic, postures, or at least, ones you're more likely to see. Alright, well, thank you all for joining me in this video. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to let it just play out from here. And yeah, thank you all for subscribing and being part of the studio. See you guys next time.